I think it's happening. I think we've achieved live status after some delays. You just never know what's gonna. Oh, I like it already. You just never know what's gonna happen to delay your live stream. Scheduled. It's scheduled. Oh man, there, there's a Tupperware lid in my floor over there. What am I filming that for? Oh, we get commercial. Who's this brought to us? Elveshelves Winter Breakfast, brought to you by Happy. Oh, how about that? Now available at Amazon. Happy. Well, thanks Amazon. Thanks Happy. Thanks for sponsoring my breakfast. All right, that took a minute. Literally. Okay, so it's winter again. It's cold as hell. I'm trying to get a fire going because my house is freezing. My hands are cold. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I haven't made coffee yet. It's 10:35. So I decided just to to press on. We're having OJ a la toad. That's what I call this. That's when you strain your orange juice. I knew a person that we called Toad, and he had to strain his orange juice because he didn't like pulp. I don't mind pulp; it just gets in my beard. That's it. And I know they make pulp-free orange juice, but sometimes when you go to get orange juice, they have pulp. All right, let's do coffee. Oh, the coffee machine is not even. It hasn't even begun. We haven't even begun over here. This has still got old coffee in it. We're just gonna rinse that out because sometimes in life you can just rinse things and it just works out, right? Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw the funniest video the other day, and it was I don't know how to describe exactly what it was. Only the one thing actually made me laugh because it was a video that a lady made describing things her husband does that she doesn't understand, and one of them was at her house they had a rule where no dirty clothes on the floor. And I don't know if that's a real rule. I suppose it could be. I don't participate in that style of pretending, but so she was giving examples of how her husband would come up with ways where the clothes would not touch the floor. They were like this far from touching the floor. What would you call it? The chair clothes that are like too clean to or too dirty to put with clean clothes, but not dirty enough. Whatever. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. But the one that I about died laughing, she called it the sink knife, and that's when you have a knife. For example, this knife here this cut a piece of butter. That's butter residue. How dirty is my sink? It's pretty dirty. Hold on one second. Here, look at my butter knife. I'm gonna move a couple things here, and I do this, and I just laugh. So check it out. That's the sink knife. Now the sink knife is when you take a dirty knife and you set it on the edge of the sink with the dirty part over, so nothing touches that part, so you can reuse it. Now that makes sense. Now in her comment, she said there was a bunch of dirty dishes down here, and she thought maybe the dirtiness of these dishes would. Apparently that's a thing only a man does. The sink knife. Now I do this all the time with everything. You know, my dirty hand is going to hold the dirty handle, but the part touches my food. I just keep that elevated off all surfaces that can get dirtiness to it, so I can reuse it. Like this one, I'm not, because I made popcorn the other night. I had to cut a chunk of butter off. I just use this because, whatever. But if I had to cut some more butter that day, yeah, that'd be a great knife for cutting butter. I mean, I don't know what the duration on how long a sink knife is still good to be reused. I think it depends on what you're cutting. You know, if you did like raw meat, I don't know if sink knife counts, but like butter, yeah, that's a thing. And I just thought it was funny because I never realized that was a thing that was like a thing. You know what I mean? Like I kind of thought everybody did that. called the sink knife. I have a toast station where I do my cutting board elevates over my toast station by about 3/4 of an inch, and I do the cutting board knife where I'll butter my toast, put the knife on the cutting board, and let the blade dangle in the air. And in reality, I don't think that's really that big of a faux pas, because technically, and this is the truth. If you're gonna start living with your pinkies out, I don't know if you know what that means or not, but pinkies out. So, pinkies out. Here we go down useless shit lane. This is a small cup. A small cup, you can't get all your fingers through, so your pinky has to go someplace, right? Well, actually, I own a pinkies out. I own a pinkies out coffee cup. Pull, please. Tea. This is real. People, when in doubt, pinkies out. Okay, so coffee mug, you could just grab that, but I'm gonna pull a coffee cup down. I'm gonna show you what pinkies out is actually all about. This here's a fancy coffee cup, and you'll notice you're not gonna get a lot of fingers in there, and just the natural shape of your hand. Your pinky must go out when you. There's no place for it to go. So your when in doubt, pinky. This is because it comes from using fancy shit, and your pinky has no place to go, and it just when in doubt, pinky's out. Yeah, that's what that means. That's literally what it means. Pinky's out. It's a reference to being around nice shit and nice people, because nice people and nice shit have nice shit, and they're nice people, and their coffee cups won't have any place for your pinky to go. I'm not making that shit up at all. That's the truth. That is nothing but the truth right there. And why fancy shit is less... I mean, it's almost like... I don't even understand it. I mean, I would think if you were fancy, you'd want shit that was simple to use. But, it's something about the way culture goes and the design that changes throughout the years of culture. And, there was a great book written... what the hell was it? Freakonomics, I think is what it was called. That's a great book. If you ever read Freakonomics, it's really good. And there's a whole section there about names and how baby names change. And basically what happens is, and this is weird, there's rich and famous, powerful people that are in the public eye, and then there's all the plebes that pay attention. And what happens is rich and famous people, because they're rich and famous, will do eccentric things like name their children bizarre fucking names. And then the plebes will see that, hear the name, and be like, I want to be like a rich and famous person. And then they will name their children similar names to the names that the rich and famous are using. That's why names go in cycles. It's because regular people don't want to be associated with being regular. They want to be, exclusive or special. But unfortunately, there are only going to be so many famous rich people. Most people aren't going to be that when they grow up. Ooh, a little reverb going there on the old grinder. So much like names and how they change with rich and famous people, so do cup designs and plates and silverware. And excuse me. At some point, in order to have exclusive shit that no one has, the designs, unfortunately, must change to a design that is not very useful. But yet, in order for that design to be different than what normal people have, the rich and famous are stuck with buying shit that's utilitarianly not as useful, i.e. coffee cups with little handles. Because at one point, coffee cups with little handles were fancy, and only fancy people could have coffee cups with little handles. So whatever, I'm just mumbling here. It's all true. It's almost like, these are almost an example. Silverware that pokes you in the palm for design. I've seen some silverware that was pretty useless, that was really expensive. Some of the Scandinavian ultra-modern stuff, ultra-modern silverware, in my opinion, I don't know how you would eat with it. like spoons that are just like planks with a little bit of a detent and stuff like that, where they take the design so extreme that it looks cool, and they put a huge price tag, so it's very exclusive, and then eventually that design will trickle down to the regular designers, and then eventually, like, regular poor people will be eating with spoons and forks that don't work. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Speaking of shit that don't work, I think my orange juice is done. Want to pull, please? I gotta go do something about this. Sorry. I may have forgot to shake this 1 or 2 times, and I think the pulp settles, and I think I made it wheeze the juice off the top. That's fine. Let's peel some potatoes. Oh, check this out. I never made a video about this because for some reason things I buy off Temu enrage the internet. I put one of the cord wraps on the back of that. Isn't that pretty cool? It works out pretty good. I did the video of me putting the cord wrap on my mixer because my mixer videos are kind of popular. And I had people like losing their fucking mind over a cord wrap video. And I can't even understand what they're fucking talking about. Like, it was like, I had one dude or person, I assume it was a dude, but it could have been a not dude. A dude with 2 O's, dude. And like, so I make a video of me putting a cord wrap on my mixer, and the response was basically, your shit's whack, just leave it on the counter because you're going to want to use that thing all the time. And it's like, well, okay. Your experience may vary. Like, no, my mixer doesn't sit on the counter, friend. Thanks for belittling me on my own channel. I'll be right back. I'm just going to do a little flip right here. Actually, yeah, we'll do one more, and then we'll call it a day. I was getting like comments of like, I wouldn't touch anything that came from that website. It's gonna have poison and that your credit card stolen. And I'm just like, what is happening? Like, are people losing their fucking minds? Like, okay. It's like it hasn't occurred to anybody that the shit talking of Temu may possibly be from the other online stores that sell Chinese stuff. Has that occurred to anybody? Like the big powerful ones that are named after a place where there's a river through a forest, and the river's called an Amazon River. Has anyone ever thought that maybe it's just companies named after stuff like that? That might be the reason why they're telling you don't go there, because, like, I got news for you. It's the same shit. They're selling the same shit on Amazon. It's just they're selling it for, like, I don't know, $10, $1 more. You know, like, if it's $1 on Temu, it's 10 plus $1, it's 11, you know? And you know how I know? Because I look. Like, almost everything I bought off Temu, I've looked. Well, what do they want on Amazon for? The exact same thing. Because, like, oh, God. Like, Temu is just a reseller, dude. It's like, they don't make anything. They're an interface. I mean, a lot of the stuff is the stuff that is the same shit that they sell at not just Amazon, but like they sell at like Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's. It's just they don't put the packaging on it because the guy that's the company that's selling it at Home Depot and Lowe's, they receive it from China and then they put it in like fancy cardboard with a special name on it, and then they sell it to you and they add $10 to it because they have to buy cardboard and ink, and then they have to have a machine that puts the thing in the cardboard with the ink. It's like, oh man, I need more cardboard with my Chinese products. Like, oh, give me a break, dude. Give me a break. Please. I mean, it's just like, it's bonkersville. I mean, don't get me wrong. It must be nice for all the people with unlimited disposable income who could just buy all the best fucking everythings on the planet Earth. It must be nice. I mean, whatever. I try not to get too worked up over it. It's just like, the reality is real. It's all real. The struggle is real. What was I talking about? I got some light switch covers. And I wasn't sure what they're going to be like, so I rolled the dice. I gambled the 75 cents or the $1.50 or whatever it was. And the other day I was talking to an electrician, and he's like, "Yeah, I just bought a bunch of those because, like, his brother-in-law will come to his house and like flip all his switches because the guy's trying to figure out how to get a light turned on." And the default is flip every switch, and he always flips his motion sensor light switches, which resets them and everything. And I was like, "Oh, dude, I just got some of those." I was like, and I told him, I was like, "Oh, I got them off Temu for like 75 cents. He's like, "Oh, I wouldn't buy anything off that website. They'll steal your credit card." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, where'd you get yours?" And he told me, I was like, "What'd you pay?" He's like, $10. I was like, "You paid $10?" I was like, "I got 4 of them for like $1. I swear to God, it was $1 for 4 of them. That'd be like, I think you paid $10 for. I was just like, oh my God. And I guarantee you, it came out of the same mold. Like, there can be only so many molds that make those things. Whatever. I shouldn't be too judgy. People are allowed to spend their money however they want. It just makes me laugh when I try to spend my money how I want, and I take the time to make a video to share my experience with the internet, and the internet loses its collective fucking mind. That always entertains me beyond belief. Let's make some hash browns. Let's make some hash browns. Forgot to charge my phone last night. 100%. Dead. Or sorry, it was 1% when I woke up this morning. 1%. So I'm plugged in right now. So I got an umbilical cord dangling off the back of the old video making machine. I wouldn't put one of those cord wraps on the back of my Cuisinart. I just leave it on the counter forever. So, dude, I have a working counter space of like 4 feet. Sorry, bud. I mean, I got more than 4 feet, but it isn't usable. It's just the way life works for me. And I'm not complaining. I'm stating a fact. Just stating the facts, folks. I'm trying to think what else is going on. What are the fun things? Keep trying to give Harbor Freight money, they won't take it. Never met a company that didn't want my money as much as Harbor Freight. Tried to buy a thing that's been just... First one I tried to buy, they started, "Sorry, sir, we can't sell you that. That's going to be our floor model. We're going to make a display model out of that." And I was like, "Oh, really? You're going to make a display model out of the product that just came delivered today in the truck, and there's a person standing right here in front of you talking to you right now, and the words that are coming out of his mouth are these words, and he wants to give you money for it, but you can't sell it to him because you're going to make a floor model of it? Why don't you make a floor model of the next one, bud? I'm here today." "No, we can't sell it to you." Okay. I decided right now, game time decision, that I'm going to participate in a grapefruit as well. Hold please. I'm going to give this a little rinse because sometimes my dirty little paws touch the outside of the grapefruit. And you don't know where the grapefruit's been. So the old fluoride rinse tends to clean off all the bad ideas that you had. So I went back the next week because he said, "Oh, hey, we're going to get another one in. Go ahead and come back next week and get that one." I was like, "Okay." So I came back the next week. Like, I'm here to buy the product. "Oh yeah, apparently we just sold it." And I was like, "But your website says you got one in stock, and usually when it's not in stock, it goes to out of stock." "Oh yeah, no, we don't." I was like, "Okay." So we go another week. Check the website. The thing's been out of stock all week. I check it. "Oh, it's back in stock." I'm like, "Okay. Well, I'm not going to drive out there again with my goddamn truck because I've been out there already twice to pick up this fucking thing and it's not there and it's pissing me off." So I call. So it says it's in stock. Does that look weird? This isn't the best knife. That's already the one we got out. I'm cutting boats out. I'm going to eat these like boats, like a madman. Website says items in stock. Is it in stock? Hold please. I get put on hold. 4 minutes goes by. The hold disconnects. The phone re-rings. Another person answers. I was like, "Oh, hey, I was just on hold. How can I help you?" I was like, "I'm on hold. Someone's looking for something." "What are you looking for?" I told him. "Hold, please." Puts me on hold. He comes back. He's like, "Nope, we don't have any." I was like, "What do you mean you don't have any?" He's like, "Well, we don't have it." I was like, "The website says you have one." He's like, "Oh, well, We only got one of the boxes. It takes multiple boxes. We only have one box. And I was like, which model is it? Because I know for a fact that one version comes in one box, one version of this item comes in 2 boxes, and one version comes in 3 boxes. So are you looking at the version that only comes in 1 box? Is it possible? Nope. Try next week. I'm just like, maybe I don't need that thing. Maybe I'm just not going to get it. It's possible. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to think anymore. So yeah, it's cold, it snowed. My feet are cold right now. I didn't realize winter was coming 100% back. Because like a certain point in the year, for me, I'm done heating my house and I go back to not heating my house. And I kind of felt like I was there. And I woke up the day, it was like 40 something degrees in my house. I swear to God. In fact, I think that was technically yesterday. I woke up, it was like 49 degrees inside my house. I was like, what the hell is happening? Why is it so fucking cold in here? And I looked outside, I was like, oh, that's why, because it's winter. It's in like the I don't know I don't even know what the temperature's right now is. It's 35 out, but yesterday was like in the 20s. I'm just like, I thought we were done with this. Like the grass has been growing, people have been, I swear to God, I've seen lawnmowers. Like I don't even know what's happening. I mean, it must be warm out. They're going to tear the street out in front of my house again because that's what they do in the spring. They rip my street apart. Looking forward to. I'm gonna have a detour. It's gonna be great. Nothing like a detour. I mean, whatever. I can't do anything about any of that shit. It's just all part of the fun. All part of the fun. Oh yeah. Oops, spilled some. That tastes really good. Oh, let's film the cabinet. I need to get a bowl out for these harsh browns. Did I do dishes the other day? Pretty sure I did. Hold please. Yeah, I did. I just didn't unload the dishwasher. Funny thing about dishwashers. I got a buddy who's got a great rule, and I obviously am not going to employ that rule because it'd make me have to do things I don't want to do. But I got a buddy at his house. There's no official dishwasher unloader. But the rule is, if you crack the handle on the dishwasher, because you need a thing out of the dishwasher that has been run and is currently in the clean run position, you must immediately unload the dishwasher. Which I think is a pretty good rule. Although that could turn into some fucking chaos when people start trying to come up with strategies for not opening the dishwasher. So what I actually think the rule probably is, and I don't know this for sure, but what the rule probably is my buddy undoes the dishwasher. That's probably the actual rule. But he told me that one time. I think I was at his house and he needed something. He's like, I'm not opening that fucking dishwasher. It's like, what? Whoever opens it has to unload it. Now, one of the more genius moves I've ever heard of with a dishwasher. I just realized I never put the screen up on the big screen. I should do that here. Much like with a lot of things, and I'm going to use this advice with a grain of salt. If you live in a situation where there's a task that has to be done, and you don't ever want to do it, just do it super fucking duper bad the first time you do it. And the person who does the task judging will be like, you're never doing that again. And then you'll never have to do it again. What was the other one? The other one is when you're first interacting with another human being, and it may be an interaction that lasts a long time, if they send you to do something, like, I don't know, will you go to the store for me? You, especially if it's a place where you both live, take way longer than it takes to do it, because they will be timing how long you are gone. And then they will be expecting similar results henceforth in the future. I don't know what it is about asking somebody to go do something, how like the clock starts being absolutely watched. I'm trying to remember what was one of the deals. Like, I was helping my uncle do something one time. It was like some lady needed her basement drywalled, and he's like, "Can you help me hang some drywall?" Because like he didn't want to lift it up himself, and I was like, "Yeah, I can help you out with that. No big deal." And we get there, we start looking. It's like a pretty new house or whatever, like unfinished basement. And it's like we're looking at the basement. I'm like, dude, these knuckleheads that built this house didn't even like. It's not even done being built. Like it was so effed up. Like they had return errors that hadn't been panned out. The main beam of the house was like, I'm not even fucking joke. It was so crooked. I wasn't even sure if it was safe. Like, it was nuts. The whole thing was nuts. But anyways, we got to a point where we had to put a piece of sheetrock up, and the framers didn't frame any wood for the sheetrock to go. So it was like, dude, that's gonna need like something back there. And he's like, I don't know. Like, you kind of look in the basement. It's like, no, there's happens to be zero framing material here in the old basement. It wasn't very much wood. It was like a couple feet. And I was like, dude, I probably got something back at my house. I'll just go back to my house and grab a piece of wood. We'll just throw it back there so this lady's sheetrock doesn't look like absolute dick, you know? And I go back to, all I did is I got in my car, turned my car on, drove on the public roads, following the public traffic laws, got to my house, opened the building with the extra materials, walked into the building, got to the materials, started looking at the materials. And I wasn't just gonna be like, "Hey, here's a brand new 12-foot 2x4. Let me let this lady have 2 feet of it." Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't even think I was gonna even charge her for it. I was just like, "We just have to do this because it's the right thing to do." Anyways, I get some oil. Hold on a second. I'm just like kind of looking at my stuff. I hadn't really got into it yet, and like my phone rings, and my uncle's like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What am I doing? I'm getting a piece of wood to fix the fucking drywall situation at the house we're working on. What are you doing?" He's like, "Why aren't you back yet?" And I'm like, "Because I had to drive to my house." Like, I was like, "I'm just gonna get the wood and I'm gonna put it in my car and I'm gonna drive back." Like, I'm not a fucking child that, like, I'm not at the bar drinking. Like, all I'm doing is going to get something for somebody else. Like, but it's something about being gone. And I actually didn't take longer than it needed to because I was trying to get something fucking done. But I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was hilarious that he got like, "Where are you?" It's like, where am I? I should be at the lumber yard buying a piece of lumber at full price is what I should be doing. But no, I'm at my house looking for the smallest piece of scrap that's big enough to do the job because I don't want to, I'm not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's what I was doing. It was like, I'm looking for the closest piece to 3 foot. I think it was 3 foot. I got some new oil. I need to put that in here. I'm looking for the biggest piece of 3 foot, or closest to a 3 foot piece of wood I can find. That isn't going to be unusable. Sorry, that's what I'm doing. I just thought it was funny. Where are you? Oh well. No big deal. I'm gonna put a piece of parchment in here. We're gonna go with perforated. I don't think I've done perforated with the old browns of hash. Pieces of 8, hashes of brown. Look at that. No, so I cut it with a serrated knife. That's what's going on. That's when I first cut it. I was like, dude, there's something wrong with the grapefruit, but no, it's because I used the serrated knife, so it's like it's opening the juice packets. But no, it tastes good, except for that piece of brown right there. No, it looks funky. It's just a bad knife to use for grapefruit. It's actually probably like one of the better grapefruits I've ever had. I didn't put salt on it or anything. It's like just good. Yeah, when I cut it, that's what I thought too. I was like, dude, something's wrong with this. But yeah, you shouldn't use a serrated knife to cut grapefruit. And I know that. It's just it's the old have to clean another knife situation that I was trying to avoid. And even as I cut into that, I was like, I shouldn't do this. And then as I did it, I did it. Okay. It looks like it's not okay. It's okay. It's okay enough anyways. Let's get these hash browns going. I don't know how the hole in the parchment actually. Whatever. I wouldn't use parchment paper that came from China. I said, well, where does your parchment come from? I don't know. Walmart? No, okay, I gotcha. I guess if the Chinese parchment paper gets me. That's the other thing I never really understood is like. It must be because like. Because the Chinese are willing to make a product to whatever standard that you ask them to, that everything from China is garbage, you know. Now I know there's been cases where if you don't have a guy supervising, they'll swap the formula out, make something different. I've heard that before, but I'm sure that's never happened in America. I'm sure no shady fuck's ever done anything shady in manufacturing in America, right? Like we don't do that in America. It's like, okay, I got you. So, anywho's, it's like, oh, this would be a controversial topic here, but like, I use Apple products, which are designed in America, but they're made in China. And I honestly would say, on average, across the spectrum of similar products, that the Apple version of the similar products is usually on the upper end of the quality scale. Now, I'm not going to say it's the best shit ever, because it's probably not. And I know they do make some shit products. But the reality is, if there's a product that's similar to an Apple product, and it's better, it's probably made in China. So that's fine. I'm trying to think my other favorite one was, I had someone like write a goddamn dissertation about, oh, don't buy it from Temu! It's made by slaves! Those people... And I'm like, well, now, I don't want to get all political, but like, I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep about a commie getting enslaved to make products to make my life easier. That doesn't bother me a bit, to be perfectly honest with you. That they got a commie slave. Now, maybe they're not enslaving the commies over there, but I think that might be how it works. I don't know. I'm going to leave that to be someone else's problem. I got plenty of my own. Well, sneak peek. How'd I do? Look at that. They worked out like they stacked perfect in there. That's so crazy. The knives like double stack. So now I'm all like paranoid that I only have 7 in this drawer. I guess I'm gonna have to spend like what, $7 to buy 1 spoon. So I could have my full sets of 8 in both drawers. I got way more than 8 here. I got way more than 8 knives. I got, well, 1 fork's dirty. I got 8 forks, about 1,000 spoons, 7 of those. And then in the unused, I got 8, and 8. Somehow I lost a spoon along. Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't lose a spoon. A spoon was lost. I don't actually need another spoon. I'm not even use those spoons. That's the funny part. Is that weird to me? I'm worried about that I don't have 8 of these spoons and I don't ever use these spoons. I only use these spoons and I never use those spoons. Hardly ever. But yet, I'm pretty sure at some point in my life I will be buying a spoon. Okay. Thought about making an avocado toast. I got some of that classic guacamole. Oh, man. Had some of the spicy the other day. Oh, that spicy was good. By the way, the drawers, I did make videos there. That's a sneak peek right there. I made a video of my drawers. I can't even believe I'm doing this shit. So ridiculous. Come on, seed. Oh yeah, caveman style. Caveman style! Well, let's preheat the old cast iron. Get that ready to go. I was going to make toast. I can't make toast on camera because my toaster is on the other side. And the other day I didn't move the toaster for the live stream, and I told myself after that live stream, that's never happening again. I am not moving my toaster from the internet. Toast will be made off camera. Sorry. And if that bothers you, you're going to have to get used to it. It's one of my favorite things to tell people is you're just going to have to get used to it. How's our eggs doing? Oh yeah. I got reserve eggs in reserve. Ready to be reserved. Egg season's coming up. They haven't lost a bunch of chicken farms lately, so I think we might be back to like regularly overpriced eggs rather than the you gotta be fucking kidding me priced eggs. So it's gonna be egg season. Whatever. I think it rained this morning. I think I heard rain. It might be raining right now. They were talking about 5 inches of snow at one point. God. Like up north, someone was saying it was going to be below zero again. Like, brutal. Brutal! Get that nice and warm, and then we'll mellow that out. A little bit more of the know thy stuff, OJ. Gotta get that vitamin C! It's good for you. Alright. I gotta think about what I'm doing here. Let's go check the hash browns. See what they're doing. Yeah, that's an empty soup can with hamburger grease in it. Don't pour it down your drain. Now, do I give that a stir or do I just let it ride? I think I'm gonna let it ride. I think I determined that I like the crispy top, but like potatoey bottom a little better than the whatever the fuck happens when you mix it. I feel like I should rub a paper towel on that. I did cook an egg on that the other day, and nothing says you've cleaned the surface like a paper towel that's been dampened. Yeah. Ooh, that's sizzling. So I'm going with that steam that's forming right there. That'll sterilize any of the leftover egg residue. I thought about doing breakfast pizza today, and then I was like, I woke up and it was fucking freezing, and I had to start the fire, and restart the fire, I guess I should say. And then the realization that like, I don't know if I actually own a pan that'll go into my wood fire stove that I can cook a breakfast pizza on, because you have to have the lips to hold the eggs in. So, I might try to figure out how to cook breakfast pizza on the pizzazz. How cool would that be? You think that's a crazy idea? It'd be fun. Cooking raw eggs on a pizzazz pizza cooker? I think that might be what I do. Stay tuned. Because I do have some, I think I have all the materials to do that. I might not have the frozen hash browns. I gotta look the recipe up. I know it's croissants, which I have, which need to be eaten because I think the date on them was like this month, I think. Ooh, what am I gonna flip that with? All my flipper shit might be in the dishwasher. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Whoosh! It's still dirty. Went through the dishwasher, comes out dirty. We'll just do the whole. That's how I clean my shit. I mean, a dishwasher is just for psychological reasons. That doesn't actually do anything, does it? There was a while there, my dishwasher, the shit was coming out dirtier than it was going in. Let's put some seasonings on our eggs. I don't want to be accused of not seasoning my food. So we're going to use whole kernel black peppercorns for that fresh ground season. And then because I don't use regular salt, I use rock salt, but this is from the mountains of the Himalayas. Oh man. Salt and pepper shakers. I went down an Odyssey the other day with salt and pepper shakers. I'd show you, but I don't want to break it. My fancy salt shaker. Ooh, I burned the egg. How is that even goddamn possible? Oh, I'm still cooking on high. Holy shit. You gotta turn that down, Elves. That's gonna be a disaster. I thought I turned that down. Yeah, where's barbecued eggs over here? Now this griddle just went a little hot. I think I just popped the yolk. I'm struggling. I didn't even put the toast down. I haven't done that one in a while. The old forgot to take it off preheat fucking high. God damn. That thing is nuclear hot. Nuke! Let's move it from the heat for a second. Woo! That's a spicy, oh, it's still on! Let's turn that whole thing off for a second. Probably got enough heat in that goddamn pan to cook 6 eggs. God damn it! Bobby! I'm gonna put this. See, look. This is a version of the sink knife. See? We're deploying the sink knife technique. Oh, my brain's on autopilot where my silverware is too. I just reached in the wrong spot 3 times in a row. Alright, crispy eggs on one side. Ooh, I like it. Been a while since I smelled the smell of an egg starting to burn. Alright, smoke signals are gone. We're good. You can check those hash browns. God almighty. Not looking good. We'll go a little longer. I got stage 3, what is it? Stage 3 diabetes. Holy Christ. You guys heard about that? There's some popular thought that thinks there's a version of diabetes that gives you Alzheimer's. Jesus. Good times. Had by all. Alright. We're going to do butter on one. We'll do guacamole on one. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I know that's a thing for like hipsters. I just can't. Hot guacamole. I don't understand it. It doesn't even. My brain can't even. I'm not saying it's not a thing. I just don't understand it. Why would you want hot guacamole? Of all the things you can have, maybe? God, maybe I could do it. Nothing's possible. Uh-oh! That's the your shit's half done button. It's looking pretty close to done. Oh no. Alright. So what else happened this week that was fun? The resolution of the Sawzall happened. Stay tuned for that video. I'm not going to spoil it. Oh, a lifetime goal has been achieved for me, which I'm very excited about. This is a thing that I've been working towards, I guess, technically, since about the 8th grade. And it started when I signed up for a summer class at the local college. It would have been the summer between 7th and 8th grade. And it was beginning guitar. And I signed up for a beginning guitar class. And I went and I learned like 3 chords. And it was awesome. It was very exciting. I showed my buddies these chords and they got into guitar. And then the student council asked my buddy, was like, hey, you guys got a band, don't you? And he was like, sure do. She's like, do you guys want to play the 8th grade dance? He's like, sure do. And then he came to lunch that day and said, hey, guess what, guys? We got to start a band because we're playing the 8th grade dance. Now you're making that shit up. That's a true story right there. So right there at lunch, we made a band, and it was like this. I said, my uncle plays bass. Maybe I can borrow his bass. It was like, cool. And then we're like, that kid over there, he plays drums. Let's get him in the band. So he was our drummer. And then the kid who, told the student council that he was in a band, he played guitar. Then my other buddy's like, well, I want to play guitar too. So we had 2 guitarists, a bassist, and a drum. And we started a band. And we played the 8th grade dance. We played Knocking on Heaven's Door and like 2 or 3 of our own songs. That was great. So great. It was still great. I can't remember which year I got the guitar. I may have already had my acoustic by then, because I must have got the acoustic for Christmas after the summer course. And then it's kind of a weird thing. We'll call these hash browns done because I want to eat hash browns. They look good enough. The guy that sold the acoustic, my mother bought the acoustic for me for Christmas. She went to the store. Was like, my son wants an acoustic guitar, and like the guy showed her some stuff, and she ended up buying one. I still have it to this day, and I love it. But somehow he like kind of confused her or tricked her, or I don't know what exactly happened. But she was under the impression she was buying an acoustic electric, and what she ended up leaving the store with was an acoustic without the electric pickups. And she didn't know that. She was 100% convinced that she'd purchased the acoustic electric because she told me when I opened it, she goes, it's both. It's electric and acoustic. And I was like, no way! No way! I was like, that's crazy. Electric acoustic? Well, it turns out they made 2 versions, and she apparently, I never really got to the bottom whether they charged her the right amount or what. I have no idea, but I ended up with an acoustic. Anyways, that was the beginning of my lifelong goal that was achieved this week, because that guitar was white body, black pickguard. Da-da-da-da-da. Fast forward to after the 8th grade dance. And I'm an aspiring musician, right? At this point, obviously, I'm going to be I've been many things in my life, don't get me wrong. At one point, I was going to be a bass player. So if you're going to be a bass player, you got to have a bass. So it's like, I want a bass. I'm pretty sure they bought me the bass. I know my mom was with me when I got it. We went down to the store. It's like, I want to buy a bass. I'm new, and they're like, hey, we got this used bass. It's pretty good. I was like, let's see it. They showed it to me. And it was like the stars lined up. The body was white with a black pickguard. PV Patriot. I still have it. It's in the room. It was like, oh my God. Had a hard case. Smelled like cigarettes. Was in really good shape. And it was a decent bass. I mean, it wasn't anything amazing. But at the time, most importantly, it just happened to be white with black pickguard. At that point in my life, the color of my guitars could have gone any direction. But it seems as though the universe was trying to tell me you need to get a white guitar with a black pickguard to match your other white guitar with a black pickguard. So that's what I got. And then a bunch of years go by. And like, I mean, I guess I'm kind of famous for collecting collections, so like, anytime people are getting rid of shit they don't want anymore, they're just like, hey, you want this? And I just take it. Yeah, I'll take that. So over the years, I've collected 3 electric guitar amplifiers. None of which is like an amazing thing. They're like little tiny practice amps, right? That's all they are, is practice amps. But you can't play electric guitar without an amp, and I got 3. I just never had an electric guitar. So I've been looking for all these years for a white electric guitar that's like not very expensive. I mean, honestly, what I thought was going to have to happen was I was just like going to be bestowed one. Somehow, someday, someone's going to like, hey, I have a white electric guitar. Who wants it? I'm like, I'll take it. And then the circle will be complete, right? Well, after like 20 years, it hasn't happened. So the other day, I was on Craigslist. Now, I've come close a couple times. I've seen a couple nice guitars that were, white electric. It just didn't. There was one I probably should have got. It was like, those V-shaped guitars where the back's just a V. There was a dude one time selling one of those locally. He still wanted like $300 or $400 for it. It was a really nice guitar. And I almost did it, but I was just like, I spent $400 on a used guitar. Even though it would be like a way more expensive guitar than that originally. So the other day, I'm sitting there like looking at the old Craigslist, and I see a guitar listed, and it's like, Ibanez guitar, $125, like new. I'm like, damn. I've heard of Ibanez. I don't know shit about them, but like, that's like a real guitar company. And in my haste, I didn't read the whole post. It's like Craigslist, it like shows you the picture of the item, and then it says the description. Then like over here, there's some words. I usually don't read those. So I started trying to figure out what model it was. It doesn't say the model, it just said Ibanez. It looked like an SG. I started looking at photos on the internet, trying to research what this thing is. I kind of narrowed it down to like a couple versions. And one of them is called Ibanez Geo, which is like their bass electric, like their bottom of the barrel one. And I'm kind of looking at it, it's like, well, it looks like it's the same body. The necks are kind of similar, but like the pickups look different. I keep digging, and I finally find like something that looks like the one, and I'm pretty much convinced that's it. And I kind of go back to the listing, and I look, and then it like literally says Ibanez AX. It just says AX. Well, it turned out it was an AX 120, which, I mean, is it better than the Geo? I guess a little bit, because it doesn't say Geo on it. Humbucker pickups, dual volume, dual tone. And I started watching some videos on it, like reviews. And like, I mean, the $125 he was asking was like basically half price. And I kind of realized when it comes to used guitars, you can usually do better than half price because some of them are really expensive or whatever. But like, the reality is, I gotta blow my nose. Give me 1 second here. I gotta find something to blow it in other than the towel I'm using to cook with. Hold, please. Hold, please. Sorry about that. But where they got me on this ad was the guitar was like what my mind always envisioned what my guitar would look like. Minus the pick guard. Doesn't have black pick guard. It's got a tortoise pick guard. But I think I can fix that. I think the Ibanez Geo 30 or whatever, I think it has good black pick guard. It's the same one. Anyways, we'll see. Who's gonna cook another egg? So I was very excited. I was like, dude, the guy's asking $125. I'm gonna give him $100 for it. I'm gonna go meet this guy, look at his guitar, and be like, nah, I'll give you 100. And I'm gonna pretend that I don't actually really want it, and see what he does. Even though at that point I'm like, if that thing is in good condition and it looks like it's gonna play and it plays fine, I'd be happy with 125 because it looks awesome. I don't think they make this guitar anymore. It's like they stopped production on it or some shit. Anyways. So I like texted him at lunch. I was like, hey, I'm interested in your guitar. Are you gonna be around tonight? He's like, yep, sure am. I was like, cool, I'll stop by. I go to stop by, and I'm driving to the neighborhood, which is like oddly. I was like, I can't believe how everything I'm getting off Craigslist recently is really close to my house and very close to the same part of town. Like, it's so weird. Well, I came in from the other direction this time. I pull up in front of this house, and I think to myself, God, this feels like exactly where I was the other day when I bought that nail gun. I got in the car, started walking up the house, and dogs started barking. I was like, God, when I bought that nail gun, there was dogs barking. When I walk up the front porch, I was like, this seems like the exact same front porch where I bought that nail gun. And the door opens, and the same guy that sold me the nail gun opens the door. I was like, holy shit, it's the same dude. And I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, hey, come on in. And I was like, it's me, the nail gun guy. And he's like, holy shit, it is you. And I was like, good news, the nail gun works. He's like, I told you. So we like go into his, like, where his guitar is set up. And like, walk in. He's like, there it is. I pick it up and look at it. It's like, it's filthy. It's grimy. I mean, it's a grimy guitar. But this dude's like 70, and like when you get that old, sometimes you can't see the grime. You don't see it. So I'm like, well, that ain't bad. Start looking it over. It's used. I mean, there's a chip. There's one big chip, not big. There's a paint chip on the bottom corner where you get paint chips. So I was like, all right, that's taken care of. To quote one of my favorite YouTubers, Andrew Camarada, it's got the perfect amount of dents and chips. Because like that dude loves buying used trucks and used cars, and he likes them that they have dents and chips in them. Because he gets them for cheap, and he's going to put dents and chips in it anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. So yeah, it's got the perfect amount of dents in it. Which lowers the price, whatever. So I just start talking about what's the deal with this guitar, where'd you get it? And he says he had bought it used off a dude from the local college up the road. I think it's from a college town. One of the towns up the road. I said, oh yeah, when I got it, it was in pretty bad shape. Like the neck was loose and it needed a bunch of work. She's like, I've been working on this thing. I was like, you had to put a bunch of work in it? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I love this guitar. And I was like, you love this guitar? Why are you getting rid of it? And he was like, I don't want to get rid of it. He's like, I don't want to sell this guitar. And I was like, okay. That's kind of weird. He's like, but I'm on a fixed income, I'm retired, shit's getting expensive, and my fucking sewer line's backed up, and I gotta pay the plumber. And I was like, oh shit. This guy has got bills to pay, and his wife is like, sell your goddamn guitar. That's what she's saying, I'm sure. Because like when I said I'll text you when I get off work, the guy's like, by the way, the price is firm. Like, whatever. I don't think price is firm when you're selling shit on Craigslist. Everything's negotiable. And it's possible that dude was making a story up that he needed the money, but like, he wasn't selling his amp. He's like, I'm not selling the amp. Like he yelled that, I'm not selling the amp to you. And I was like, that's fine, man. I don't want your amp. Because like, he's like, I will get a guitar back, but I gotta it's just like, whatever. I mean, I don't know what to think about the whole thing. So he's like, yeah. So I tightened the neck up, straightened the neck, filed the frets, because when I was reading online, one of the reasons this guitar is so affordable when it's new is like they don't do all the initial setup. So like the frets need filed, neck needs adjusted. He started talking about intonation, which I don't know shit about. He's like, the intonation was off. He's like, I worked on the intonation, got it close, but it still needs more work. And I was like, straight up told him, like, I don't even know what you're talking about because I have an acoustic and you don't adjust intonation on an acoustic, so I have no idea what that means. Apparently you can adjust intonation, I think, on a bass, but I just didn't even know because I'm that guy. So it's like, well, it sounds to me like I'm buying a guitar that a person who loved the guitar took time and worked on the guitar and made it nicer. So that's cool. It's like they worked on it and whatever. Ended up like one of the knobs is broken. And I got home and I spin one of the knobs and it kind of wobbled a little bit. And I looked at it. Somehow it got. I mean, it still works. It's still on there, but like, it's not pristine. I think for $6 I can get 4 of them. So I might invest a $6 bill to have a pristine knob, or I might just say fuck it and leave it and have a broken knob because I don't even care. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm having so much fun with that guitar. It is so much fun. It plays so nice. It's amazing. And then I started watching more and more. I think I watched every video I could find on the internet about this guitar, and like almost 100% of all the videos are. They're one of two things. They're either of a guy who plays really expensive guitars who kept saying it's just a $200 guitar or a $300 or whatever it is. Because he keeps repeating that to himself because he can't believe how good the guitar is. But he keeps saying it's just a cheap guitar. It's just a cheap guitar. It's just a cheap guitar. You know, it'd be like buying a, buying an affordable, like buying a Ford Focus and saying it's not a Ferrari. It's not a Ferrari. That's not a good example. It'd be like buying a Ford Taurus and having the SHO version and saying it's not a Ferrari, but even though it's a hot rod car and it's nice. I mean, it's just, the whole thing was, like, all the videos were weird. Or it's people be like, dude, I love this guitar! And they're just freaking out, loving it to death. Like, I've read forum posts about it where the guy's like, I own $1,000 guitars, $2,000 guitars. I own a room full of guitars. He's like, this is one of my favorite guitars. It's like, it's crazy. It's a crazy little guitar situation where, like, it's not very expensive and, like, but you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, that's the other thing is, like, I guess for, like, really, really nerdy guitar people, they love this thing because it's like a good base to start from. You can customize it, make it whatever you want. And whatever, I'm pretty pumped. I got it pretty well cleaned up. But yeah, you could tell it got beat up a little bit. It's got some dents and some scratches. But I'm happy with it. So anyways, at that point of the interaction with the guy selling it, I determined I'm definitely buying this thing. And I said, well, here's the part where I make you an offer. And the look on his face was just daggers. I pull out my $100 bills, like, I'll give you $100 for it. And he's like, oh. He's like, all right, here's the deal. I'll sell it to you for $120. And I thought about countering his counter, and I just said, you know what? I didn't say this part. I was like, dude, I think that you're fucking having some problems. I believed him. I was like, you gave me a pretty good price on that nail gun. Trust me, I'd like to pay $100 just because it's fun to pay less when people ask because you're buying new shit. But I'll give you $120. I have no problem with that. And then the guy instantly was like, I'm checking these. And I was like, oh, definitely check them with a pen, make sure they're real. I said, was the last money I gave you real? He's like, sure was. I was like, good. Because if this isn't real, I gotta go talk to somebody because, I mean, somebody's giving me fake money. He checked them, they're real. He's like, there are a lot of scammers out there. I was like, I guess there are. It's just crazy. Oh, well. I said, well, thanks for the guitar. I'll have fun with it. And then one of the more fun things, let's see, I'm about done here. Let me adjust the camera real quick. Over the years, I've acquired like a pedal or two, guitar pedal or two. Not very good ones. One of them was an overdrive pedal. I put the battery in that. That didn't work. It was like, rah! Like the amp started making sounds that amps aren't supposed to make. I was like, there's something wrong with that pedal for sure. So that thing was just a piece of garbage. But the other pedal was a pedal my buddy like gave me. And he bought it used. He didn't like it. He's like, all it does is just like a bunch of it's like 100 different distortion pedals. And I was like, dude, I don't even know. I get the thing, I plug it in, put the batteries in it, fire it up. It's like, yeah, it's not 100. It's about 80 different distortion pedals. Well, so I got looked at the owner's manual, started reading. No, it's not 80 distortion pedals. It's 80 presets. 1 through 40 are adjustable, and 40 through 80 are the exact same as the factory 1 through 40, but you can never adjust those. They're preset, customized versions of what a person thinks would be fun to make a guitar sound. But then you can go through and you can do almost unlimited adjustments on your reverb, there's like a wah. I can get a wah pedal and plug in and have a wah if you want to. You can. There's it's all digital. There's versions of different cabinets. So it's like, I want to play a Marshall stack. You can go to like Marshall stack. It'll sound like a Marshall stack. You want a tube, you can make it sound like a tube. You want like a tweed. You got a Roland, I think it's Roland rotary. You can get one of those. Like it's all in there. So you can preset your amps. Then you can go back in and you can add whatever effects. If you want echo, you want reverb, you want overdrive, and they're all percentages. Like without the manual, it's unusable. It's all. I don't know what it's like. I love hash browns. Oh yeah. Well, that's all that's left. I just got this. These ones got a little extra brown. But this pedal though, oh man, I'm having so much fun. And I'm not good at guitar at all. Like I know like 3 chords, but I want to learn more. I got some power chords. I was playing some Helmet. Oh, dude, with the distortion, I'm just like, yeah. That's Unsung by Helmet. Oh, it's so great. I don't know even, but that's just the beginning of the song. Whatever. So much fun. So much fun. So yeah. Oops. But so that's different in my life. That's new. A little guitar action. I got a video game called Rocksmith that you play a real guitar. But the version I got was the bass and guitar. So I used to play bass to it, and it was really cool because like the way it rocked, like remember Guitar Hero where you play with a fake guitar with like little buttons, like, look, I'm playing guitar. It's like, nah, you're not playing guitar. You're clicking 4 buttons with a little paddle switchy thing. Rocksmith plays like Guitar Hero, but you use a real guitar, and it starts you off 1 note at a time. The notes come at you like Guitar Hero, and you learn those notes, and then as you get better, it adds more, and it teaches you chords, and it literally teaches you how to play guitar. It literally does that. So like, my buddy brought his guitar over once, and we were trying to play it, but like, how do I describe this? Like when I would play it, if I started and I played it on the guitar, I could do it. It's like, oh, hey, you suck at guitar. And it comes slow at you, right? You play your songs. And then it's like, oh, it's his turn. Hand the guitar over to your buddy. And like the same slowness comes at him, and he's hitting them all perfect. And the computer game's like, hey, you got a little bit better. Let's throw some harder shit at you. And the next thing you know, it's just like throwing all sorts of crazy shit. And he's playing along because he's good. And he's just ripping up and down the thing. And he's like, oh, you're pretty good. He'll throw some more shit at you. And he keeps throwing more and more. And then it's like, oh, hey, it's my turn. They hand it back to me, and all of a sudden shit that I can't keep up with is like, you can't. You either have to be as good as your friend when you're playing it, or you have to play by yourself. So I might start playing that again because that game is awesome. Might teach me some new shit, so let me give that a try. Anywho, didn't have a very big crowd today. I guess people are getting ready to do some other shit, shoveling snow. But anyways, for those who came in live, I appreciate it. It kind of went longer than I was supposed to. Got excited about talking about guitars. I'll probably do a video on that guitar. I mean, I probably won't play because the internet will lose their fucking collective mind if I play my guitar shittily on the internet because how dare you? You're not a professional. But yeah. If you watch the non-live version, thanks for watching that. If you'll watch the live one, thanks for tuning in. I guess I eat breakfast every Sunday. Peace! Until next time, stay safe. Where's the off button?